YouTube? I've been dying to make this video. Oh my goodness. This is going to be my first impression of the MAC in the Flesh palette. This is a brand new palette from MAC. And I gotta admit, the thing that is crazy to me about MAC right now is how they don't seem to be doing the PR that a lot of other brands are. I actually have looked up videos on this palette and just information in general, and it's very minimal. It's very minimal. But I guess I'm not really surprised because MAC has always kind of appealed to makeup artists more so than like Too Faced and Tarte and those kind of brands. But anyway, I'm rambling. This is going to be on the In the Flesh palette. This is a 15 pan palette. That is what it looks like. It's a very pretty neutrals palette. This was totally an impulse buy for me. Some of you might know why I impulse bought it. But anyway, yeah, this was an impulse buy. I do enjoy wearing neutrals. Who doesn't? It's a really good everyday look, and I feel like I will have no problem getting that from this palette. I'm going to do these swatches on bare skin without any primer. The way that I do this is just to kind of run my finger through the pan and then do a single swipe. I feel like that gives the best idea of how the colors are going to work, versus, you know, an idea of how it works with primer. And that said, I don't think I ever don't use primer, but I just feel like this gives a better idea of the shadows. So I do apologize if these are at all, like, wonky. It's actually really surprisingly difficult to figure out how to effectively show swatches on camera. So those were ridiculously buttery. Those just look so pretty. Oh my goodness. I'm very happy with them so far. This third one, the third one in the top row, was a little bit powdery, but nothing I can't work around. Alright, moving into the second row. That was a very light color. Do these have names? I don't know. Things I could have researched for you guys, but I did not. Ooh, that's a pretty gold. Alright, and there is the second row. So these two colors are very, very light. I think that'll work well as base shades, because I definitely use base shades. Okay, now I'm going to do the last row. Let's wipe this off. And some of these are leaving behind some residue. That's okay. Alright. I always have to get a frame of reference. Oh, I like that silver. See, it's so funny. We supposedly don't like shimmers anymore, but we are always super impressed with them when we see how they swatch. Interestingly, that last row kind of reminds me more of the Naked Smoky than I thought it would. I might actually have to grab that to compare. Okay guys, so I grabbed a whole bunch of palettes from my collection to compare this one to. In the initial swatching, I was actually really impressed by how dark and deep those darker colors actually came out. I thought this was going to be a pretty light, heavy palette that would limit you to making light eyeshadow looks, but I actually think this is a lot more diverse than my initial impression was, because those give you so much pigmentation, so you're not just, you know, stuck in those light colors. So, my thoughts were that this looks the most like the original Naked palette. There's one major difference though. This is a $54 palette. I feel like everyone knows it at this point. It has 12 shadows and 3 of those are mattes. It's ridiculously heavy on the shimmers, and for that reason, I feel like it's just a tad bit dated. I'm sure shimmer shadows will come back into popularity, but right now everybody's all about the mattes. And you know, you're kind of limited to a lot of shimmers in this palette, whereas this one actually has 8 matte colors in it, 3 shimmers, and then these 4 satiny colors. So this really has a lot of diversity in the type of finishes that you get from the eyeshadows, so I really really give it that. If you like the original Naked, this is definitely worth checking out, just for getting something that's like a more updated version of those colors. It's also pretty similar to the Naked 2, which is obviously not massively different from the original Naked. It just goes a little bit more in the taupe direction, and I'm going to do my side-by-side swatches off camera so I can tell you guys for sure if these run more warm or more cool tone. And then I thought when I was swatching the dark colors that it might be a little more like the Naked Smoky. And in fact, I do absolutely think that it's got a lot of those dark colors to it. So I'm going to do some swatches of these and come back to you guys and let y'all know. Okay, so everybody's always obsessed with the transition colors in a palette. I went with this one and compared it to the transition colors in the Naked 1 and 2. So that's the Mac in the Flesh color. And then this is Buck from the Naked 1. And then this one is Tease from the Naked 2. I feel like it's actually a really good combination of these two. This is making me think maybe this palette is going to lean more neutral, and that's why I was having a hard time deciding between it being more similar to the Naked 1 or the Naked 2. Okay, moving on to those light shades, I actually swatched 3 of them. This one, then this one, then this one. Sorry, I wish these had... Well, I guess they do have names, but it's on the back. I just noticed that. So those are the... Wow, those are hard to see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so those are the first 3 in the of the light colors in the MAC palette, and then we have Virgin from the Naked 1 and Booty Call from the Naked 2. To be honest with you, none of these are similar, but I don't necessarily know if you need to be concerned about that. I find that light shades are light shades kind of across the board. So it's nice to see that they're all different though. It makes me very happy as somebody who buys these to say, oh, now I have 3 completely new colors. And these are mattes and these are like slight these are slight shimmers anyway. I don't know if they were supposed to be. They're more of a satin finish. I might have actually called those mattes. They're not. Moving into the shimmers, I have swatched this color, and this color right here. They're so pretty in how they swatch. And then following those 3 from the MAC in the Flesh, I did the Naked 1, which I am standing by my statement that those are the most similar in color. However, none of these are really dupes for each other. I feel like those are kind of close. What is this one? What is this? I believe this is Smog. So those are pretty similar. And then from the Naked 3 over here, these are definitely leaning much more cool toned than these are. I really think these are coming off neutral. And look at how nicely those swatched too. I actually think those swatched better than any of my Naked colors did. Just found the best dupes. I can't even believe it. So this is going to be the last row. These 1, 2, 3, 4 dark colors. That's not looking as dark on camera as it is over here. It's more of a silver. So those next to some colors from the Smoky palette. Look at that. Now, these are getting similar. I actually think this one has a little bit more punch to it. I personally like the Smoky Naked palette. I know not everyone does. I like it a lot. But these colors are getting really similar to me. I feel like the black in the MAC in the Flesh is not the blackest black that I've ever seen. So if you're going for super black, you're not going to get it from this palette. But I love this silver. It's super pretty. You get 2 different tones of gray, and those kind of compare to these from the Naked Smoky. Yeah, I feel like if you don't own the Naked Smoky, you have all your bases covered if you get this palette, to be honest with you, because that's everything you need in the smoky colors. Alright guys, so of course the last step in order to actually do a review on this product was to try on these shadows. So I did just that. I did this off camera. I know a lot of people do tutorials. I'm not a makeup artist, so I don't feel comfortable, especially with something I'm trying for the first time, giving you guys a tutorial on that. I just kind of feel like I'll play around with it and see how it went and report back. So that's exactly what I did. I will say that I absolutely enjoyed using it. I found the colors were all very easy to work with. I loved this color as an inner highlight. It shows up really pretty, much better than the swatches did. And I used this shimmery color. I love MAC shimmers. They're so pretty. And I will say one limitation I found is that this palette doesn't have a dark brown, so that kind of takes away from me thinking this is as much of an all-in-one palette as I was originally thinking. However, that does not detract from my personal view of this, because I have so many dark browns that if anything, it's a benefit for me. But do know that if you intend to travel with this and just take this palette, if anyone does that kind of thing, you are instead going to be working with these darker colors, which includes, you know, gray and taupe. I was able to make a look with it, and I'm really happy with it. And there's a little bit of powdery kick up, but nothing on the modern Renaissance kind of level. I did actually do my eyeshadow last, obviously, because I had on my foundation for this video, and there was very minimal fallout, and it did brush away. The primer that I used was actually just the Bare Minerals 5-in-1 Cream eyeshadow. There's my heater, sorry about that sound. So it's not the most... how do I want to put this? It's not the primer that makes for the most potency of the colors, but it's a really nice, subtle color, and I feel like it doesn't work with all shadows, but it worked very beautifully with these. I'm very, very happy with this look. Very happy I bought this. Again, this is $65, which I realize is a little high compared to a lot of palettes out there, but this is 15 full-size MAC shadows. You'd be paying over $100 to make this palette yourself. So I think it's a really great value, and I really, really think MAC has such a killer formula for their eyeshadows. They blend so well, they apply so well. I really enjoy them. So that's my review. I hope you guys found it helpful. I hope, you know, this helps you decide if this is something that you want to purchase or not. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, you know the deal. Thanks for watching, and peace out.